guys and girls, welcome back to the video. It's fantastic to have you here as always. Today's video I'm going to be doing some stuff on the charge piping. Specifically I want to try and get the intake pipe made to the intercooler. It's not bolted on yet. To give you guys a quick update, a couple of things have changed. I've moved the coils over to here and mounted them onto the side of the plenum. I'll go over a bit of that either later in this video or in another one. They were located on the back of the firewall. I've got the dump pipe tacked together, but I'm not happy with it. If you can see down there, it's touching the gearbox, so I need to pick off one of the tacks in there, recut it and try and shift it away. Other than that, progress is coming along nicely. I've just gone and sunk a hole saw down through there. I need to go and get the file, give it a quick clean up, peel the tape off and put a bit of paint on it. And while the paint dries, I'm going to start working on this charge pipe. Also, gate should be good. We got that section fenced off, so now I can go and clean all that crap out of the way, so that the dog can't get in, and it should be able to be a bit tidier. But anyway, what I want to do today, I just came in here the other day and made up a couple of these pie cuts. So the issue that I face is the throttle body is really close to the ABS system here. So the only way that I'm going to be able to get a tight enough radius around there is by doing some pie cuts. So I came out the other day and just made a couple of these pie cuts. Now this angle is far too great. It's about 15 degrees. Normally you'll have it at 7 and then do more of them. You can see it's a fairly steep angle there. I've made 500 horsepower on very similar degree cuts, so I'm really not too concerned about it at the moment. If it does become a flow restriction, I can always just cut it off here and then redo the pie cut section. But yeah, I'm going to quickly run in the shed, tack these together to get that bend made up, and then we will carry on getting it to go down the hole and then come back around into the intercooler. I've got to mount the cooler as well. This side is going to be a little bit more tricky. I've got to get some aluminium bends to weld onto there. Those suckers aren't cheap. Or I've got to come up with some sort of silicon and steel sort of concoction to get it down there. Last night I found out that the drain hose that I was using before still fits amazingly. It does get a little close down there to the piping, but with a few little tweaks as you nip it up, you can sort of get it to run in a way that's not that close. I mean, I can stick my hand under there. There's a fair bit of room there. If it does look like it's starting to cook it, I'll put a heat sheathing over there, and I'm probably going to end up wrapping most of this header system anyway. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to tack these guys up and I'll come back once I'm ready to progress it through. Alright, so I ended up getting a bit carried away and completely welded up this piece without filming much of it. I ended up going and just welding it all. I had a bit of trouble and chasing around some holes and shit, but for the most part I'm pretty happy with it. It's turned out pretty nice, and it should. It's still hot. Should sit nicely in there. Probably going to have to trim this down a bit just to keep it away from there, because it's still a bit long. Might quickly grab a knife and just trim a bit out of this. Probably just trim I don't know, half an inch or something with that. Alright, so I just trimmed this piece off it. Might be a bit much. Got a bit carried away again. We will see. Perfect. Right. So like that, I might actually even tilt it down a bit slightly. Yeah, like that. Okay, now the next piece to go on is this. Which I need just a wee bit more length. I thought that I had a piece to give it that. Interesting. And this looks a lot nicer, but power steering will go there. Start with a straight piece. About 110 mil. So I'll go and cut that out of a piece. And then I'll return. Anyway, after some thinking, I've had to half reassemble the car. Loosely got the rad in, fans in, power steering reservoir, this bloody throttle cable. Go over there. And I don't have a great deal of room. I mean, that'll be alright. Just need to work out where the next piece is going to have to go. Where's my pen? Something like that, I'm thinking, and then over here and down. I'll start by cutting this, checking that it's the right angle. Alright. Beautiful. So now that can continue on straight, point straight down there. So I'm going to go and tack these two pieces together. I'll come back once I've done that. that's the next piece done. So now I've got to get it down that hole. Right, go and cut another piece. Oh, what's going on there? I've welded the wrong piece. Alright, well that was nearly a catastrophe. I ended up welding my extra piece onto the offcut instead of the actual piece that I wanted. But now I can go and tack this piece together, and then I might tack maybe an inch onto there so that the silicone has something to join onto, because I'm going to put silicone joiner down here just under the guard, and then from there it's going to run around into the cooler. So I'll go grab my pen, I'll mark this and that, tack that together, tack a little piece onto here, and then I'll cut back, I'll mount the intercooler, and then we'll come and work on the next pipe. I'm probably not going to be able to finish welding any of these because I don't have any filler rod. I'm just fusion welding them at the moment. But yeah, I'll grab my pen and mark it. Go and tack these two together. Okay, so I've got half of the pipe made. Alright, so I just got this piece made quickly, mounted in a cooler, and I just cut that off there, tacked it onto there. It's a bit closer. This intercooler pipe also is hitting on the chassis here, so I'll probably, later on, I'll probably just trim this corner off. Yeah, it's getting close now. I need to kick it back that way, which I think, if I get that other offcut, it should be pretty close. Pretty sure this guy will go under there. Yeah. And then it's just a matter of getting another 90. This is my last 90. So how much do I need to trim off? Oh, I gotta trim at least that much off to tuck it up. So I'm gonna quickly go and slice that off, retest fit that again. We'll see if we're closer. Alright. Just got that piece trimmed off. Let's have a look. I wonder if it's going to be that simple. And grab my pen quickly, try and mark this. We got it out here. Right. There. So I'll go and trim this guy. I'll trim him a little long, and then I'll come back. I reckon I might just trim this guy up too. So how much? Trim this guy, trim him back a little long too. Go and make those couple of cuts. Alright. I gotta try and remember which way this thing goes now. This needs to have a bit of an angle to it. Go and see if I can trim this off with a bit of an angle. Yeah, this needs to be a bit shorter and this needs a bit of an angle. So I'll go and do that. Which way do we need the angle? A little bit this way. Got a bit of an angle cut on this guy. Trim this back a couple mil. Let's try again. Now she's too short. On second thought, I reckon that'll work pretty well. Alright. So I need to go and put that on. Say somewhere in this vicinity. Alright, tacked on this little bend. Hopefully that'll get it a bit nicer looking. Alright, go and tack these two together. Hopefully that'll be it. Alright, that's going to be about it from me today. That's about all my back can handle. Been going at this for about 5 hours now. It's pretty close. I'm quite reasonably happy with it. I've still got a couple of little tweaks that I need to make, which I'll go through and I'll explain to you in a minute. Let you know where I'm up to. So basically it comes out of the throttle body and then down here and through the guard there. If you can see, it's a little bit back to this side. I think what I'm going to have to do is just come back here and where it meets this piece, just take a small section out of it, just to sort of pull that further. Oh, excuse me. Just to pull that further forward and just get it more central into that that hole. It's not hitting very hard on this edge. In fact, I can see like a mil or two of air gap around it. But yeah, that's pretty much the finished part. Comes in nicely. I did end up trimming off this piece of the chassis. But yeah, that's about all I can put up with. My back's starting to ache pretty bad now. I can't go and finish any of these welds because I don't have any filler rod. I had one which I used to do those. And being a public holiday today, I now need to go and wait for something or someone to open. It's going to sell filler rods, so that's where I'm going to leave it in this video. It's all tacked together. It's fairly solid. I mean, I can move it around, manipulate it as much as I need to. It's just a shame about this. I might spend a couple more minutes once I finish filming and see if I can twist and tweak and sort of like roll this piece and roll that piece and get it to somewhat line up. If not, then yeah, I'll trim that, a small section out of that to pull it forward. I was hoping to continue on with this dump pipe this afternoon, but seeing as my back is aching as badly as it is, I'm gonna hold off on that, and I'll come and do that another day, probably in another video. Everything seems to clear alright except this wastegate. I'll just have to make a sort of a kink in the dump tube. Everything over there clears alright, the fans fit, which is exactly what I wanted with this setup. Again, the cores are going to be moved over there from off the firewall, neaten it up a bit. Oh yeah, that's about the progress that I've made so far. It's getting there. I need to get an alley bend onto that, so then I can get it to come down that hole, and then I'll make the small piece of pipe that's going to go into there, and that'll finish the intake piping. From there I just need to rewire those coils because the wires go over there, rewire them over to there, basically refit everything, and it should be just about ready to fire up and do the break-in procedure. Get some coolant oil and a filter on it, and we'll kick her in the guts fairly soon, hopefully in the next, I'd like to say maybe 2 or 3 videos. Don't count me to it though. I really need to remount this fuel pressure reg. I did have it over here, but having this intake pipe coming down near it, it was basically sitting right in front of this throttle body, as was this clutch reservoir, so I'm going to have to go, I'll probably zip tie the clutch reservoir like that up to the brake master, and I'll just relocate this probably over here on a little bracket, something like that. I don't know, I'll figure that out in another video. Yeah, anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. Which brings me to the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hopefully the content's been pretty good. I'm not sure how it's going to work. The way I filmed it was a little different. Probably not going to be a time lapse. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new people who have subscribed recently. Thanks for all your support in the comments, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy the build and what I'm doing. I got some plans for that stock motor, but again, that's a long way away. But yeah, that's basically it for me in this video. Again, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching. Please leave a like, chuck a comment, and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.